I have the unique opportunity here tonight to welcome a guest from the class of 2014, sponsored by Batavia, Illinois Lodge, 682, if you're out there. This is Juan Solis from the graduating class of 2014. Juan, you know, in the amount of years, I'm going to go back to even when Mr. Hart was in this position. We've known you for a long time. How long were you at Mooseheart?
16 years.
16 years. I got to ask this because I don't remember. As you get older, you lose your memory.
Right.
Not my hair, okay. But did I have hair when you were there? What? All right. I'll take your word for it. Hey, Juan, the big thing about Mooseheart is they called you, the voice? Why don't you talk to me about what the voice means?
Well, started out announcing about when I'm my junior year for the champs now, our basketball team, and I was given the nickname The Voice at a banquet. They called my name up. They said, Juan, The Voice Solis, and everybody was like, hey, that's perfect. So, you know, throughout the hallways in school and just on campus, that's what I was called, and people still call me that, so that's the story behind it.
Well, you do have a good voice. I'll give you that. You do have a good voice. So, well, Juan, we're going to do something a little bit unconventional here. I've got some pictures I want to show, and I just want you to talk about those pictures. What comes to your mind? If I'm not mistaken, Juan, you can take a look out there. It's a backward picture, but that's you up there, man. I believe you were, 2 years old, first day at Mooseheart. What does that picture mean to you?
Okay. Well, when I first came, I was kind of confused of my surroundings, and for such a young age, I was kind of confused about what was going on, coming from such young parents. So when I took the picture, I was like, "Is this my home now?" And fortunately, it is, and it's been a blessing. And you could tell throughout the pictures of the years that the smile just gets bigger. My smile got bigger each and every year. So.
Well, not only did your smile get bigger, your voice got deeper. Yeah, exactly. All right. This picture cracks me up. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the history of this picture?
Well, I was inspired by Mr. Hart right there. We used to, hold meetings and everything, pretend like we were the board of directors and stuff. And actually, in a way, we actually, called them in for meetings. So it was vice versa, kind of. It was real fun.
Well, I do remember. I think this was in Georgia, Alabama, or Brandon home now. But I do remember coming down for a meeting. You called me in for a meeting. I'm sure Mr. Hart had plenty of meetings with you, right? That was very fun. Oh, my goodness, this picture. I know people probably don't realize what's going on in this picture, so I'm going to help them out. Juan, tell me why you have a pair of underwear on your head. Yeah.
That is the freedom of expression, my friend.
That's a fruit of the loom, not freedom of speech or freedom of expression. That's comical, man. Man, we've known this girl for a long time too. Yeah, 17 next year. She's still at Mooseheart. What does she mean to you?
Well, in your life, there's always someone who just depends on you. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or even an acquaintance, there's someone that's always going to depend on you for you to succeed, so it inspires them. And, on that journey, you think about quitting, but then you turn around and you notice who's looking. And it's always someone who wants to follow in your footsteps, wants to see you succeed. And what Jasmine, that's my sister, what Jasmine did for me is when I was at Mooseheart, just looking at her every day and saying, wow, she's depending on me, that helps me to keep marching. and therefore I didn't stop. And she'll be graduating next year. So I'm real proud of her, and I love her.
Why such a big smile? Juan, I believe these were your family teachers for probably about 7, 8 years. What, I know it's kind of a, it's not a, well, I don't know what Mike's doing in that picture, but that's the kind of character Mike is. But why don't you tell me, what do these people mean to you?
This is the pack right here. On the left is Angela Pope. On the right is Linda Warden. And the goofy guy in the back is Mike Warden. I moved in that is Maryland Delaware Home FTs. I moved in that house in December of '07, coming right out of community, well, when there was a community 3, we came right out of community 3 and into community 1. And the first day I was there, it was, you know, they were real nice, and they were, you know, and throughout the years, you know, we became attached, and they've guided me in every aspect of life, spiritually, academically, perfect with words of wisdom, and that's pretty much a pack of parents to me right there. If you tell me 7, 8 years, I'm 17, I'll be 18 Monday. You know, 7, 8 years, that's pretty much, that was half of my life, you know, that they've brought me up and taught me great things. So I love them. And if you could hear me all the way there at Mooseheart, I love you guys.
Oh man, you're eating us up, man. I think you're having too much fun. Have you pinched yourself yet? You're in Vegas, man. Hey, Juan, looking at this picture, man, that's like 16 and a half years worth of being at Mooseheart and it coming to an end. What does that feel like in this picture?
So, yeah, like you said, 16 years, and I believe Scott's son John Hart said this one time, but when you're on the stage at one point, it just comes to you, you say, wow, I'm graduating. And not just high school, but I'm graduating Mooseheart, where I stayed for 16 years of my whole life. And I was sitting there and I was just thinking about that. And I went down to when they called my name, I went down, and there was Mr. Irwhiter said, here it is, man, 16 years, yeah. And so the thing that was coming to my mind is like, wow, you can't explain the feeling, can't really explain the feeling, but it just all built up, and I just put my hands in the air and said, wow, God's plan worked, and Mooseheart was the thing, and Mooseheart was the best for me, and it helped me to turn out to who I am today. It made me. I appreciate all that, and I want to let you guys, every single head in this room is part of the success of every student at Mooseheart. Not just me or not just Jeannie, but literally everybody, even the kids in Baby Village. And when you continue to do this, it's going to be a lot of more success in the future and a lot of more great stories that are going to be told. Thank you. I love everybody in this room. I love you.
Good job, man. You ready? Absolutely. Absolutely. You all right, man? Well, how many people out there want to hear a little bit more from Juan? You're going to have to do better than that. How many people out there want to hear a little bit more of Juan? All right. All right, Juan, go take the stage. Tell us your story.
Thank you for that. Well, good evening. My name is Juan Solis, and it's a pleasure to be here in the great city of fabulous Las Vegas to share a great story with you, the story of a very young man, a boy that grew into a man. He was born on June 23rd, 1996, in Aurora, Illinois. The father of the young child was a mere 16 years old, and the mother was 13. They were struggling to raise their children and had become homeless and had been flowing from home to home for a year and a half. During that year and a half, his parents also given birth to a young sister, Jasmine, which made it harder for them trying to raise two kids as well as trying to survive. After using up every option they had, they found out about a place named Mooseheart, a place where children in need would be guided and cared for. No parent wants their child to have to grow up in the streets, have no medical care, and no basic essentials such as food, shelter, and love. Parents want their child to have a chance at life, and these parents were no exception. So on November 11th, 1997, they brought the young child and his sister to a beautiful campus close to home and where that child would live and flourish and enjoy one of the greatest childhoods ever. That child is me. Almost 17 years in Mooseheart, not one day of regret. Some of my earliest memories include living in Allegheny home with two amazing family teachers, Heather Schultz and Bridget Soto. I was a child with two wonderful mothers now and learned what it really meant to be loved. I enjoyed a childhood full of going to museums, playing with new brothers and sisters, learning to ride a bike, learning to swim, watching cartoons, having the best birthdays ever, and falling asleep peacefully each night, even though I still wet the bed. As I grew up and moved to a new home, things just continued to improve. More brothers, playing on the playground, starting school. I still remember my first day of school and thinking that saying the pledge was the most wonderful, amazing feeling ever. I felt like a grown-up, real grown-up. I loved learning to count, color, spell, read, and even like nap time. I was living a dream, even though I hadn't seen my parents for years. I remember seeing tons of people on special days that I would later recognize as state days. I got my first bike on Indiana Day. And still love the Indiana Moose men and women to this day. Then came fourth grade in another new home. I would now live with 7 other brothers that I'm still close to today. I also met another new mom, Miss Michelle. She was fun, smart, and would teach a scrawny kid like me how to play football. She was from Chicago, and I thought that was awesome. I'm still close with Michelle also. She works at Mooseheart and trains other incoming family teachers how to carry on a legacy of how to care for children, how to encourage children to be their best despite having such hardships at a young age. Some of her fondest memories of me was when we used to play in the basement of Brandon home, and while other kids used to play dress up and be cowboys, Indians, cops, and sports stars, I dressed up as Mr. Hart. Complete with my little briefcase. Those were truly great days, truly great days. I was greatly influenced by many people, but one in particular was Mickey Hogan, a dear, dedicated family teacher who lost a brave battle with cancer just a year ago. I'm sure she is watching me today and saying, wow, Juan, made it big. My final move on Mooseheart campus landed me into the Maryland-Delaware home on December 1st, 2007. Any Maryland, Delaware people in here? Me and 3 of my friends moved in on the same day, and my family teacher referred to us as the Fantastic Four. I'm the only one left right now, so it was very sad to see people come and go, but again, I was happier than I had ever thought possible. I was lucky, blessed. I had 3 amazing family teachers, Mike and Linda Warden, and Angela Pope, that would stay dedicated to helping me finish the race and helped me to prepare for a great future. Countless hot days in the summer, they sat in the bleachers while I played Little League Baseball, and I had a family of 12 there to cheer me on, even though we lost every single game. Talk about dedication. I had the opportunity to travel to Tennessee. No? Okay. And to Pennsylvania on family vacations and met some of the most dedicated Moose members ever. It was then that I truly began to understand that there were people who worked hard, gave all their time and money just to help me. How do you say thank you for that? These people never met me, but made me feel more like a family member than some of my family ever did. I've been to Cubs, Bulls games, White Sox games, Iowa Hawkeye games, thanks to Ray and Lloyd Schable if you're out here. I lived a truly magical childhood, so just do the math. 7 homes, 20 family teachers, hundreds of brothers and sisters, and 16 years, 6 months, and 20 days. All equal up to one unbelievable, unforgettable, most amazing childhood ever. Like I told you, a great story, a Mooseheart success story. After all, they matter to me, they matter to us, they matter to Mooseheart. It means every child there in need could share in this experience. So in this case, don't let the things that you learn, hear, and experience in Vegas stay in Vegas. Tell your friends, neighbors, coworkers, and everyone that will listen about what a magical, life-saving place that Mooseheart truly is. After all, we're living proof. God bless you, God bless Moose Haven, and God bless Mooseheart. I love you. Have a great time in Vegas. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Juan, we definitely appreciate